Hi everyone, my name is Cheryl. Welcome to my Happy Handcraft Studio. I had hoped to come back sooner, but spring is very busy. I'm finding that with gardening and golfing a couple of days a week and getting ready for quilt shows and going to fabric sales, time flies. But I did want to come back on before I head to Stitch and Stash 2025, held in Edmonton at the West Edmonton Mall this week, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I wanted to update before I go to the retreat, and then I'll tell you about it afterwards. So the last time I was on was April. And the big question was, what should my birthday start be? And I gave 3 choices, and I think my viewers knew where my heart was, and so they chose Mrs. Bunny Plus. So I'll show you that one first. So Mrs. Bunny Plus is this kit from Bucilla, and I've changed the fabric to Charlescraft DMC, the green blue in 14 count. And I mentioned that this is like the cover from a favorite children's book, and I loved it. I loved putting the stitches in. You know, it has nice big blocks of color. I did quite a bit in April, and then every month I'm trying to add another bunny. So I'm really happy with your choice. Thank you so much for choosing this one. It's great. So May was Springo. And I had my Springo chart, and I did manage to get 2 bingos, and I really stitched a lot. I was really happy with the amount of stitching I did every day. So for Springo, I did my Sahara stitch. I also did a Happy Mood Point. I did Santa Brought a Christmas Gift for the Row of Houses. For I was Indigo, and that's for Happy Mood Point. N was for New Year Start, and that's Kingdom of Books. G was for Teresa Gil, that's my Queen Elizabeth II in Her Coronation Dress. And O is for Oldest, Queen Elizabeth II in Her Coronation Dress. So I did get some stitching done. So that was May. And now in June, I've continued on with a lot of those same pieces. My whip go call for June was my oldest whip. So that's Queen Elizabeth II in Her Coronation Dress. And the other one is Choice. So I'm just working on all the others. So far I've put a lot into Kingdom of Books. So I'll talk about that in just a bit. All right, so for Springo, the first one was Sahara. So this is Sahara and Flowers. This is a Vivster pattern. And this one comes in different colors. I chose the colors that would work best in my study. It's based on Frank Lloyd Wright art, and I'm doing this on a 14 count light oatmeal fiddler's cloth. And this is the one that I'm going to be taking to Stitch and Stash because I won't need any kind of extra light or magnification. It's got big holes and it's big blocks, so that's the one I'm going to use for that. For the P in Springo was Point, Happy Mood Point. And, oops, this is the little picture right there. Oh, is that the right size? Yes. Now I've decided I'm only going to be doing part of this chart. And so when I finish this row of ornaments, I'll make a nice little end like so on this side, and it'll be done. I think that's going to be just enough for that one. So Happy Mood Point is an Etsy pattern from, I guess it's the Happy Mood Point shop, and this is the SS089 Sampler Quaker. This is on a 32 count pearl gray Lugano, and it's all DMC 3750. So that could be a finish soon. For the R is row of houses, and for that I'm using this one, Santa Brought Christmas Gifts, and this is from Owl Stitching House. I really like stitching this one. Again, nice blocks of color. And I broke up each house to be 2 months of the year. So I'm already ahead because this is the July-August house. But yeah, I love that. I mean, I love the slate blue Lugano. I love that color. And then the white shows up on it beautifully. And those little houses are just so lovely. So I'm just here on the July-August house. It'd be nice to have it done before Christmas. All right, the next letter was, again, another Happy Mood Point. I really wanted to get that done. So I was able to work on that 5 times in all in the month. And then the next one, N for New Year's Start, was Kingdom of Books. And for Kingdom of Books as well, I'm trying to do a book a month. So I started this now in June. So hopefully I'll be able to finish that book. It is kind of boring having both of these books the same colors. I'm going to be really happy to move, you know, onto either side and have some different colors of books. So this one, oh, I don't know if I have my information for it. No. It's on a linen that's kind of a, it's supposed to be sort of a wood color so that I don't have to do all the stitching of the wood. And again, this is going to go into my study. I think it'll be great up there. Been getting lots of stitches into that one. And then the last, Springo, Queen Elizabeth II in her coronation dress. I mean, she's coming, but I think I worked all month just on this little kind of bouquet. Like, I'll work 2 hours a night and get 100 stitches because it's 2 of this color and 3 of another, but she's going to be beautiful when she's done. Hopefully I'll be getting into some bigger bands of color again. So this is a pattern by Teresa Gil. It's on a 28 count Vintage Blue Cashel, and I'm using the called for DMC. I will continue to work on her. So right now my plan is that every month I work on Queen Elizabeth II in her coronation dress. I do part of a row house from Santa brought Christmas gifts. I do a whole house in Kingdom of Books, and I do at least one little rabbit in Mrs. Bunny Plus. So, and I guess too I should try to do one Quaker in Happy Mood Point. We'll see how the month goes. So I know a lot of you are always interested in how my chart is going. It's going great. So I think right now I have 6 projects on the go. I have my 2 starts from 2025, the Sahara and Mrs. Bunny Plus. I have 1 from 2024, which is Santa Brought a Christmas Gift. I have 1 from 2023, Kingdom of Books, and I have 2 from 2022, Coronation Dress, Queen Elizabeth II in a coronation dress, and Happy Mood Point. So, like, these I really want to get done. I have, many projects kitted up, but I just really want to clear the board of those old ones, have them done, framed, put away, so that I can, really enjoy some new starts. All right, so that is my stitching. Now I mentioned I was going to take the Sahara picture to work on at Stitch and Stash. So Stitch and Stash, I think there's probably going to be over 200 of us. We have Michelle Bendy of Bendy Stitches as one of the featured designers. But we also have Cheryl from Tiny Modernist with bringing her patterns and things to sell. And Jeanette Douglas is going to be there one day to sell her patterns and different things. So it'll be great. I'm looking forward to going and hoping to meet some local stitchers to me and to see what they're working on. I did make something for Stitch and Stash for my place setting. A couple of years ago I made a pink set because I was into the pink. I still am, but I thought because the theme is beach, I would make a set for this retreat. So the first thing I did was I made a project bag, and I won't actually put a project in it. I'll put all my supplies and things. And this one, I'm trying to use up fabric, so it has this color and it has this color. So it's reversible. No. And I found this fabric at the local fabric land. It looked beachy to me, so. And I have a fondness for Volkswagen bugs. So that's the project bag. And then I made just a simple placemat. I find at retreats it's really helpful to have a space defined so that you don't spread into everybody else's space, because things tend to travel. So that's my placemat. And then I thought I'd make a little snap tray just to put, threads, scissors, kind of whatever. And I also made a phone rest so I can have my phone sitting there. So I am all ready for the retreat, and if you see me, please come say hello. I'd love to meet you. It's always nice to meet more people in the stitching community. So I was saying it's been busy times. I have been making lots of things for our local quilt show. Our quilt show is also this weekend. So I'm going to go to Stitch and Stash Thursday, Friday. I'm going to go to the quilt show and work at the quilt show on Saturday. And then Sunday I may go back to Edmonton to have the sort of the last day. I'll decide at the time. We'll see. So I made pencil cases that you can put onto journals. And I made tea bags for golfers to put all their teas in. And I made some more phone rests. At the end of April, I went to several fabric and yarn sales to support Stephen Lewis Foundation. So in one day, I drove to Red Deer for their fabric and yarn sale. And then I drove an hour and a half north to Edmonton and went to their fabric and yarn sale. And then I guess it was maybe the next week, I drove to Calgary and volunteered for the Jamagramma fabric and yarn sale, and it was amazing. It amazes me, the volunteers who come out and how they turn a curling rink into an amazing retail space. I volunteered in crafts to help them set up, and I guess the other time was in the quilt area. And then for one of the sale days, the big Friday sale day, I was also in the quilt area. And the people of the area really support this charity. First of all, they donate all their fabric and yarn and sewing machines and books and patterns, craft materials, so that we have a curling rink full. And then they come Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and buy and buy. It's great. And then at the very end of the sale, charities come in and can take whatever fabric and yarn and materials they can use. So it is really a great community event. So this year, before expenses, which are not much, it's basically the rent of the curling rink, over $180,000. So if you can imagine reselling people's fabric and yarn, it was great. So regular fabric, $2 a meter, quilt cottons, $5 a meter. Yeah, so that's a lot of meters of fabric. So it was great. I'm hoping that I can do it again next year. I had a great time meeting up with Judy, the city stitcher, and friend Glenda. Had a great time with them, so it was wonderful. Thank you to the person who emailed City Stitcher saying, "Are you okay? We really miss you. Maybe she'll come back." That would be great. She's always stitching great things. She hasn't stopped stitching, so we'll see. Hopefully she'll surprise us one day with a great new video. Okay, so that's what I've been working on for quilting and for charity work. And then the last thing, I'm going to share just a couple of books. I know I had comments last time that I missed my book report. And that was because I had video trouble when I was doing my editing and everything. It wouldn't go, and finally I took out the whole book section, and then it went. So I will grab my book journal. All right, so my book journal is my 52 book club journal, and my goal is 52 books this year, and I'm on track for that. I'm only going to talk about 3 books in detail because I thought they were either really great finds or an awesome book. I think because I had a birthday, I was thinking about age and being elderly, and when I went into the library, one of the books I saw was An Elderly Lady Must Not Be Crossed. And you can tell, just by the cover, it was a sweet little book. But this is not a sweet little old lady. I really like Maud. Maud is no stranger to taking matters into her own hands, even if it means she gets a little blood on them. One of my favorite quotes from this book is, Maud had automatically reverted to her best defense, the confused old lady. I love it, just love it. So that was the book I saw on the shelf at the library. It was one of the featured books. And then I find out, well, it was number 2. It wasn't even the first book. The first book is An Elderly Lady is Up to No Good. Maud is an 88-year-old Swedish woman with no family, no friends, and no qualms about doing what needs to be done. Love it. Is she a sociopath with a heart? You'd have to read it to decide. But just they're little books and short chapters, so it's a really easy read. And then last book that I'm going to talk about in depth was the new Fredrik Bachman book, My Friends. Oh, this is one of my 5-star books this year. Louisa is about to turn 18 and is all alone in the world. Her most cherished possession is an art postcard showing 3 tiny figures sitting at the end of a long pier. This becomes her ticket to learning about the subjects of the artwork. It's wonderful book about friendship. It goes back and forth between her present time and the time when these 4 young people had the best friendships of a lifetime. It's lovely. My favorite quote is, "The world is full of miracles, but none greater than how far a young person can be carried by someone's belief in them." As a former teacher, you gotta love that. And one of my favorite lines that's repeated often in the book is, "I love you and I believe in you." Yeah, it's a great book about a group of misfit kids who find each other and really make an impact on each other's lives. I think, I would definitely recommend it. So Fredrik Bachman also wrote the Book of Ove, Anxious People, Beartown. I love his books. This is not a hockey book. It's not a funny book like Anxious People is. It's just a sweet remembrance of childhood friends. As I was reading this, I was preparing to go to my own 50th high school reunion, and it was wonderful. It was great to see people. My hairstylist said, well, do you have the most successful person kind of thing? And the most successful person is the person who is healthy enough to come to the reunion. It was great. I ended up sitting with two really good friends, a couple that have been going together since like grade 8, got married the year out of high school, so they'll be married, 50 years as well. It was great. Now, if you ever go to one of these reunions, tell people they look fabulous and that they haven't changed a bit. Even if they have, just say it, because the feeling you get when someone says that to you, it's priceless. Now, the women all look great. The men all looked like they were cousins of, no, not all men. Some of the men looked like they were Santa Claus's cousins. It seemed like, big white gray beards are really in for my class of 1975. Anyways, so that's books. Now, I have read several other books that I'm not going to talk about a lot, but they were all chosen, I think, really because they had great titles, like A Widow's Guide to Dead Bastards. This one was really interesting for people who live in the Calgary area, because it's not a novel. It's based on the real life experiences of a woman who finds out when her husband drops dead that he had an alternative lifestyle that wasn't what was expected. And then another book, great title, Serial Killer Support Group. That's a great title. A young woman wants to find who killed her sister and joins a serial killer support group because, they have feelings too. And finally, Home is Where the Bodies Are. That was a good mystery. It's like serial killers have families. They have wives and sons and daughters and brothers and sisters. So some other good titles, not as high on my recommendation list, but if the title it makes you interested, go for it. So I'm going to go to Stitch and Stash. I'm going to have a wonderful time. I'm going to come back and tell you all about it. I'm going to continue to work on my stitching. I have all kinds of quilts on the go. I have a bag that I just made, but I'll save that for next time. So take care, and it's great seeing you all. Bye-bye.